Yeah. We were looping for a little bit because, because I messed up the timing of starting it. I need to update that damn thing so stop saying threat low on forums because it's not what we're raising for. We're raising for my rent. Hi everybody. Happy Friday. I hope the day is just fine or productive for you. I'll come on camera in a minute. I meant to get my dinner up and warmed up much earlier than I did, and then I got distracted. I did a bunch of important stuff today. Yeah. Subscription time. You have been subscribed for at least 18 months. So fun fact about my subscription icons is that they all... My subscription... Oh, I need to turn down the music. All of my subscription icons are related to Kamen Rider 01 in some aspect or another. They're basically all just little badges that are themed off of different Kamen Riders from that show. Okay, my food just finished in the microwave, so I'm gonna go pull that out. We're gonna get going. Or it needs another 30 seconds because, of course, it does. So yeah, my bad, y'all. We are going to probably go at least a little bit longer than usual to make up for it. We're going to go a little bit longer than usual to make up for it, but maybe only about half an hour or so. This last week and change has been really busy. I've been jumping up and doing a lot of meetings related to like community stuff or future lab stuff or both. So, no worries. The important part is that your hands and face is on the screen now. It almost is. So yeah, as you can see up here, our winter rent drive has progressed tremendously. We are currently at 40% of our goal, so like a little bit around. It's like around $16, $22, maybe a little bit more than that. So basically, we make a little bit under 400, and we're halfway there. Ideally, right? I'd like to see that. I'd like to see that jump up some more, and we reach 50 before the end of November. But you know, we'll see how that goes. I know that like times are really tough, and while I've been posting it a lot, I also understand that yeah, times being tough means that it'll be difficult for people to do the thing, you know. So let's do some sheep fighting. Take my smoke break, forget what was BRB. Yeah. So yeah, we're back on our usual. We're doing Sheep 5 or 6 ranked. If you do wind up donating or passing on the link to anybody that does, keep in mind that there are incentives that you can redeem for while we're streaming, including like changing the background here or doing some other stuff. So, I'm pretty sure I did not stream last Friday. And I know I haven't streamed. Yeah, I know that like she's been slowing down a little bit, and that like we haven't had a Wednesday stream. It feels like we did last week, but not, and I know we didn't this week. But that's mostly been because I've said this previously, but with Wednesday in particular, I'm usually down doing work at the Game Design Future Lab on Shootlancer. And usually if the day runs long enough or it's important enough, I usually don't make it home in time. And I have to like spend a little more time like doing that. And I would be doing more streaming of like Shoot Lancer's active development, but we have a couple more things we need to like iron out before I get to show y'all some of the stuff we've been working on. If I could, I would like stream from the Future Lab, but unfortunately, that's not quite a viable option. So, oh, this is an important one. I want to talk about this for a minute. So, this is a big thing right here. Street Fighter 6 has been out since 2020. Hang on, let me think about this real quick. Because this is year 3 and it's 2025. So 2022. Year 1's DLC over 2023. Year 2's DLC over. Yeah. I want to say that if I'm remembering this correctly, Street Fighter 6 came out. Right. So each completed year of DLC gets added on. You can count that as a total. So we have not hit Street Fighter 6's third full year yet. Because 2023 going through 2024 was the year 1 DLC. 2024 going through up until earlier this year in 2025 was the year 2 DLC. Now we're in the third year and we're getting the third year DLC. So, Street Fighter 6 has been out for like 2 years and change. Thank you, Stubby. Street Fighter 6 has been out for like 2 years and change, right? So, in that time, it's already pushed 6 million units. Street Fighter V's lifetime sales as of September of 30th, 2025, right? Street Fighter V's overall like lifetime sales figures as of September 30th, 2025 was something like, let me go look at it real quick, because I made a post about it a while ago. Here we go. So, as of September 30th, 2025, Street Fighter, and this was at that date, right? As of September 30th, 2025, at that point, Street Fighter V's lifetime sales, 7.9 million units with a release date of February of 2016. Street Fighter 3, 6.3 million units, June of 1992. At present, right? So at the time that they did the survey, Street Fighter 6 was at 5.7 million. Now, like sometime, like when was that? Like about 8 days ago is when Capcom said that Street Fighter 6 passed 6 million, right? So it is within spitting range of overtaking Street Fighter 2, right? But also, it has literally done almost, I don't know the percent. Hang on, let me just do the percentages, because I'm just going to assume that it's a flat 6 mil right now. And I can't factor in any other changes because they haven't announced any other of the big ones. They haven't announced any of the big milestones yet. So, we'll do 6 million divided by so basically, roughly, in 2 years, right? In 2 years, Street Fighter 6 has already made about 76% of the sales numbers that it took Street Fighter 5 2016, 2017, 2018, 2019, 2020, 2021, 2022, 2023, 2024. And we can't count 2025 because February's already passed. It took 9 years and a bit. 9 years and change in a couple months for Street Fighter 5 push 7.9 million units. In about 2 years and change, Street Fighter 6 has pushed over 6 million. There are people who have opinions about the way that this game's meta is shaping up, about the health of the game. There's definitely some head-ass things that Capcom is doing, like charging like pay-per-view prices for Capcom Cup is some bullshit, and they should know better. But despite all of that, in roughly around a third of the time, Street Fighter 6 has already made 76% of the types of sales figures that it took Street Fighter 5 like a good almost decade to get done. Say what you want about the meta. Yeah. To be fair, Street Fighter... Right. But that's also kind of my point, right? There are a lot of people who are like, yeah, you know, Street Fighter 5 is a bad game, and it's... Street Fighter 6 is like too swingy and it sucks, and it's like, okay. There's a difference between I do not like the way that this game's particular... There's a difference between right, I don't like the specific sort of like mechanical considerations of this game system. I don't enjoy that. That's fine. That's fair, right? Like, I'm not going to press people over feeling that way about games, right? I would rather you be honest about it in that sense, just be like, yeah, it's like these specific like mechanical things are not for me in this game, and I don't like these particular systems, right? Like, that is an entirely fair thing to say, right? But, and this is something I was also saying on Skyline, based on the Skyline. In other words, like, because I technically am still viewable on Blue Sky, but like I don't my Blue Sky account, or rather like my account on like in that network is not hosted by Blue Sky anymore. So I'll just say on Blue Sky for simplicity. So like, or just the Skyline. So on the Skyline, it was the thing that I'd said before, where I was like, the thing about games in particular is that it is more intellectually honest brain took off. Oh, also hi, Cosmo, and hi, Steffi. I didn't say hello to either of you, and I'm sorry. I was distracted by my thought. But yeah, the thing I was saying on the Skyline about, video games and all of that is that the whole thing in particular is that people have a bad habit of not learning how to value their own opinion. There's a journalist, this is game journalist I follow, who talked about a thing with he wasn't talking down at the idea of watching somebody do a Let's Play or something. He wasn't doing that, or I would have not responded to this positively. But he was like, you cannot watch somebody play a game and then treat it as if you have played that game. There is an intrinsic difference between those two things. And if you're going to form your own opinion about a game, ideally speaking, you should play it. You do not have your business forming an opinion about a game in a very deep, substantive way, unless you played it, right? And I don't even necessarily mean finishing it, right? Because he didn't say that either. But unless you have actually played a game and tried to engage with it on some mechanical level, and actually taken it, and actually taking it that way, right? You can't. There's a certain level of remove that you have to admit to that, right? Obviously, I don't think that there's anything wrong with watching somebody play a game. I'm literally in the middle of watching somebody do a 100% playthrough of Mega Man Battle Network 3 Blue version. No commentary, just because I just want to see the game and see what I'm in for. Because I've played Battle Network 3 once before, it was a long time ago, right? But it's one of those things where I'm if you ask me about Mega Man Battle Network 3, right? I'll be I played White version a long time ago, and I haven't played it in a while, right? But I do remember a couple of small things about it, but I haven't played it in a while, right? But watching somebody else play it reminds me of parts of my playthrough. I'm oh yeah, right, the PES program is some bullshit, and that's really annoying that they make you do that. I understand why, and it makes sense, and it was the first game with the Navi customizer and blah 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 and all this other stuff, right? But I can say these things and say that opinion like that because I have played Battle Network 3. I did it in middle school, so a lot of my recollections are a little fuzzy, right? And I know some of it is being based off of my impressions of oh right, yeah, I remember that these were things that you had to do, right? But I played it, is the essential point of that, right? It's a very different conversation than if I were to say, yeah, I've never played Battle Network 3, but this game looks like butt just from watching somebody else play it. It's there are parts of that you can sort of get a feeling for, but I feel really realistically to judge a game on its own merits, you have to play it. Again, yeah, the whole point of game is always that playing it is supposed to be an essential part of the experience. Yeah, you don't have to finish it. If you don't like the game and you're not enjoying it, you don't have to finish it. I'm not going to tell you to finish it, right? But for example, I have the opinions that I have about Bushido Blade, though I realize that when the opinions that I had when I did play it in undergrad were a little mean, and I realize that now. Right? But I played it, so I have an opinion about it, right? I played Bushido Blade before. I may not have been super good at it, but I played it. So if I say things yeah, I don't like the things I think are interesting about Bushido Blade is that it did try to do a whole thing with oh yeah, if a limb gets damaged, right, then you can't fight, etc., etc. But they didn't. It wasn't a traditional 2D fighting game the way that Street Fighter is, right? It is a weird mix of like in some ways it really kind of reminds me of like a prototypical arena fighter when you really think about it. I need to be careful about that because I'm really afraid I'm going to get popped by a Shoryu at some point. I'm so happy I didn't drop that. But yeah, so yeah, with Bushido Blade, it's like, right, I can see ways, and now that like I've even had more time with like other kinds of games, I can say, oh yeah, Bushido Blade in a lot of ways reminds me of like the prototypical version of like an arena fighter, basically. There's like a lot of things that are very similar. But the point is that I can make those statements and like have those opinions because I played it, right? I wasn't just like watching somebody play it and then like parroting their opinions. Like I actually played the thing myself, right? There are judgments that can maybe out of games so I watch people play it. Exactly, right? So like that's my main thing, right? It's not even so much that it's like that's why I was like the whole point of what that reporter was saying, the whole point of what I'm saying is not even that it's like, oh yeah, you're not allowed to make any judgments about a game from watching it. But it's more like if you really want to understand the essential aspects of it and what it's about, you're gonna have to play it. Or ideally, you really should play it. Yeah, like observation, like there are like, for example, right? Like you don't have to play Detroit Become Human to see that David Cage is a fucking hack, and that his ideas about how certain concepts are actually fucking terrible. You don't need to play Detroit Become Human to actually see that. You don't need to. Because the shit, you can just watch somebody play it, watch the allegories, and go, David Cage, you're a rat fuck because you were trying to pretend that you weren't trying to do like a ham-fisted civil rights allegory with your game. Yeah, Cat Wizard. That's the thing, right? Yeah, like you can have an informed opinion by watching somebody play it. A slightly more informed opinion by watching somebody play it and hearing them talk about what they think about it. But you can't do detailed analysis without playing it yourself. And most importantly, this is where it relates to Street Fighter. The problem that we run into with Street Fighter in particular, right, is that a lot of other people will repeat the things that they hear other people say about the game without having played it themselves, and that winds up becoming an issue for other reasons. There's somebody who follows me on like Blue Sky and Black Sky, right? And one of the things that they said that will stick with me for like a hot minute is that one of the things that they had to learn just from like other competitive stuff that they were doing was like, yeah, top players are wrong about things. Yeah, no, you're good, Cat Wizard. Don't stress it. I think Stubby was more or less talking to me when he said that, so it's fine. But yeah, I need to be careful about that because I'm. Yeah, good slide. Ooh! Yeah! Yeah, that's fair. Nope. Get throw. Hang on a second. Nope. Why did I do that? That's my fault. My instincts are off. Nope. It wasn't my turn. I was pressing a button there. It wasn't my turn. Yeah, I'm cooked now. It's my fault. Let me focus for a second. Right. The thing with Street Fighter, and the reason why, like, this particular thing is more of an issue with fighting games in particular, is that, like, yeah, okay, they're willing to do that, and I need to, like, be more willing to bait that. Ooh! Oh yeah, right, no. Like, DJ can't do shit. That's my fault. I should have kept pressuring him. So the thing about DJ, that's very important to know, is that if DJ is burned out, his only options for reversals are level 2 and level 3 super art. So if you burn him out, right? If you burn DJ out, and you put him in a situation where he has to do a reversal, if he doesn't have meter for Super Art 2 or Super Art 3, pressure's free. You can just blow him up. Yeah, because like to be like DJ's reversal for like he just also has really good normals for anti-airing with also, so it's not like he's completely helpless, but it's bad. Yep, that's fair. Good throw. Also, his drive rush is really fast, so it's kind of whoa. There we go. Not the super I meant to use, but it killed, so whatever. Yeah, yeah. And his normals being good help him compensate to a certain degree anyway. But yeah. Yeah, like Charged Gladius still has armor. When Muddy says burnt out. And the main thing with DJ and why he's really difficult to anti-air is that with the way that like Jackknife Maximum works, you cannot force him to fuck up the input by like trying to cross up jump him or anything like that. It doesn't work because it's a down up charge. So oops. Yeah, so you see what I mean, right? Like, he just got Super Art 2 meter at the time that I killed him. So, like, him trying to do anything else there, nah, he was cooked. Like, once he was in Burnout. Like, DJ in Burnout loses hard. It's a bad time for him. And the reason why DJ is so prone to burning out, which is something that I think is a relatively clever part of his design insofar as like check and balance thing, is that because I need to stop doing that. Because of how good his drive rush is, right? A lot of the time you are sort of incentivized to use it. Ooh. Because of how good DJ's drive tools are, you are definitely incentivized to use them a lot as him, which means that, especially for even things like conversions and otherwise, like if you're trying to convert off of hits or whatever, then you're also spending a lot of drive gauge. His drive rush is very fast. Yeah. Like, he is a character... And it is one of the criticisms of Street Fighter 6 that I do understand, but that I also go like, this is also sort of the flavor of the game that they wanted to make. So I understand if you don't like it, but to say that it's a flaw is a little bit unfair. Yeah, there are characters who do fine when they're not in Burnout, and the characters who lose horribly when they're in Burnout. DJ is a character that loses horribly in Burnout. That is kind of his design thing. He has really good, yeah, it's exactly what Cat Wizard said, right? Like, he has a lot of good ways to spend it, but there are consequences for him overusing it in ways that are very deliberately, very heavily weighted against him by virtue of the fact that he's so good with it. And there's a thing where people are like, yeah, if your character doesn't have like a jive rush medium kick that you can cancel, then, you know, they suffer in the design, which is not... There are ways in which that is not inaccurate, but I feel like it is an interesting way that Street Fighter 6 has been trying to give more texture to the way that like certain character interactions work for Knuckle. I'm trying to press buttons when I don't have the room. No. Kick butt, rising tackle. That could have been a Super R3. After the rising tackle, the first set of rising tackle, Terry can cancel to Super R3. But yeah, that's fair for a Knuckle. Oh, whoops. They're... or a Knuckle. Yeah, they pushed a little too hard. I expect that they were trying to do there, but they went a little bit too ham. Whoops. Oops. Yeah, like the main thing that's getting them right now, and we'll see if they adjust, they're doing a lot of that. Terry has a target combo off of his crouching medium kick, and they've been doing it a lot. And the main thing, like that, right? And if it hits, it's good, to be clear, right? So it's not that they're making like a horrible decision by doing it a lot, but, yeah, now I'm burned out, which makes this a little bit more difficult to deal with. Nah. So basically what I had to do when I was getting popped by those crack shoot loops is that there was a spot probably when he was doing the crack shoot that I could have actually there's probably probably doing like the actual crack shoots themselves. I could have what's the word? I could have done a super and gotten out, but I messed up the timing and wasn't sure of it. And I would have had to guess. Made it too obvious. Yep. That's plus. Yeah, so, yeah, and that's why they're leaning on that a lot. Oops, I didn't react in time. Yep, that's fair. Yep, there we go. When I got them with the drive impact in the corner, I was trying to do Thunder Knuckle to then cancel into Super R3, but I dropped it. So that was my bad. I almost fumbled that, but I got lucky. Oh, hey, it's Sagat. Oh, this is gonna be fun. But yeah, the main thing I was saying before.
Stay out of my business.
Show me your strength.
So yeah, like the main thing I was saying before is that like people, generally speaking, have a really bad habit of, especially with like fighting games, they will repeat the things that like top players of the game say verbatim. And it's not even so much that like, oh yeah, top players are always wrong. It's sort of the same thing that Subby was saying about how there are informed opinions that you can make about a fighting game based on about some games based on watching them, right? And that it's not like a thing that you can just sort of, it's not always a thing where it's like, yeah, watching it will, that thing that he said about informed opinions, I can't remember the exact specifics of it, but you get what I mean. That is also true of like listening to top players talk about fighting games. It is not so much that they all lie or that they're always wrong, but that their biases are also going to feed a certain degree of the way that they perceive the game and its flaws and so on and so forth, right? You cannot verbatim take their experiences as necessarily how yours are going to work, right? Like for me, my main thing is that it's like, I always say that like, even if I'm playing a matchup that like, where I'm playing a character that Blanca theoretically should lose to all the time, for me, right? Like if a top player is like, you should never be losing to Blanca as this character, and then I lose to Blanca as that character, does it mean that they're wrong? Not necessarily, but it also means that like, you know, it's about your experience. So yeah, being an expert at playing games and being an expert at designing games are totally different skills. That also. Yeah, like, and even if you're like, yeah, I want to like learn how to make the type of game that I would enjoy playing, there's nothing wrong with that. But you do have to, you are going to have to like unlearn a lot of assumptions that you've made about the way that certain things work in order to make that work, right? One of the things that my mom always used to say is like, yeah, think about how to move from becoming like a consumer of games to producer of games, when I kept talking about like how I wanted to make them and everything, right? And I understand better what she meant now as an adult in particular, because she was right in that you do have to like kind of like shift your thinking. But I think it's also a thing where it's like, the underside of that is that I think a thing that people don't necessarily understand is, to Cat Wizard's point, right? Like, you might like playing video games a lot, but then you might try making one, and then you're like, nah, man, I don't think I'm really good at this, right? And I don't mean in the sense of like, you don't give yourself time to like develop the thing, but you try it maybe one or two times, you're like, nah, it's not really my jam like this, right? And that's okay, right? Like, that's fine. But mostly it's a thing where, on principle, I sort of am very careful about ascribing to people that, like, of course, because you enjoy playing this thing, of course you're going to be good at, like, making this thing too. It's like, no, it's two very different skill sets. And I think that it can be helpful for one to inform the other if you know a lot of what you're doing. But this is also how you wind up with situations like Super Street Fighter 2 HD Remaster, or HD Remix, sorry. Let me shout out Jasmine before I actually start the next match. Thank you, everybody. Jasmine, deeply appreciate it. I already did some stream. Anyway, Sean, call me either that or Shay. I make games, I play games, Games Weekly basically. It's not for to write love on her arms. That's not what we're raising money for. We are currently raising money for we're doing a mutual aid raise for my winter rent. To make a long story short, I am basically kind of like on the last of my savings, trying to make sure that I can like make it up into the new year to get an opportunity at a new job opportunity I have coming up that will help me keep solvent for the next couple months. But having money until I reach that point would be very, very helpful, and that is what we are raising money for. So it's not for to write love on farms. I just have not changed that yet, and I really should. But yeah, how was Voice Changer, Jasmine? Hopefully well. Hopefully everybody from the stream is also good. Oh no, I'm dead. And also, hi Vinka. Hopefully you're doing well. Voice Changer is fun. Good. I did that cancel too slow. That's how you can tell I'm out of practice. Yeah, I'm not gonna drive impact you, bud. Buddy, I'm not doing that. Nope. You can't drink that close like that. It doesn't work. I respect that you tried. Ah, damn it. I didn't get the right button out in time. And that's 4. Load it up. Oh. The managed to counter perfectly. Voice Changer fun. Good, good, good. And hopefully you're making good progress. And remind me what kind of game it is again, actually. I know that you have rated in while playing it, but then I seem to never remember what type of game it is. Good one. Yep. Puzzle game just finished at the stream. Excellent. Nah, it's not safe. That's not safe. Break-in is not safe on block. You can't do that. Just finished. All right, you said you just finished it. Do you have anything planned next, or y'all are kind of just playing it by ear to see what's the next game? Next game, I'm going to try to set the town with no name. Excellent. Yep, fair. Good drink. Yeah, so Jamie spaces those palms correctly, then what you see here is what happens a lot. Gotta go eat but have fun? I will. Thank you for dropping off the community with me. I appreciate it, as always. Ah, fuck. Fourth drink. Load it up. Ooh. Jamie and Viper looks like they're fighting over who gets to keep their hairstyle here. Yeah. Okay, that was bold. I respect that, actually. Yeah, I gotta be careful now. Yeah. Jamie did this with like one drink. but it stalls me out from, like, it's not going to do nearly as much damage as it could. Unfortunately, it wasn't enough. I respect the hustle. He tried. An herbal drink? What's in it? I'll pass it on to my analysis unit. You're gonna find alcohol. You're gonna find alcohol in there. It's gonna be alcohol. But yeah, that Jamie was pretty on the ball with taking up like drink opportunities, which is pretty good. Because like the thing with Jamie, to explain it very shortly, even though we're not fighting him anymore, Jamie basically does like 80% of his normal damage. No, 90, something like that. He does reduce damage when he has no drinks in. At 2 drinks, he does normal damage. At 4 drinks, he does at least he does more. I don't want to cite exact numbers without looking at the wiki because I don't remember on the top of my head. Hi, Shiny. We're really good. Oh yeah, Thanksgiving was good. I went upstate to have dinner at one of my aunt's place with my parents, and it was very good. And I walked home with a plate. I'm saving that plate for later on in the week or tomorrow. One of those two. All right, let me stop doing bullshit because this is why. Ooh, that was a good spot to jump. Yeah, okay. The more juice he drinks, the more juice he gets, yeah? Alright, hold on, let me lock in for a second. That's plus, why'd I do that? Might be dead now. Yeah. I got too eager. I shouldn't have done that. If I'd been a little bit more chill with what I wanted to approach with, I could have been fine. Knee uppercut. Yep. I should have anticipated he was going to jump. Because the thing is that what a lot of people do, I saw that shiny, I'll read in a second. What a lot of people will do in Street Fighter 6 when they're in the corner and they suspect that you're going to drive impact, they'll jump forward to avoid it for free, without having to like spend resources on a drive impact in return. And that's, you can use that trick psychologically to like get people to jump, but you have to like be awake and looking for it. Yeah, it's fair. Fair. Yeah, it's fair. good. I cooked Creole seasoned turkey. It's delicious. I made my own pumpkin pie for the first time, to be honest. I didn't want to buy a store-bought pumpkin pie again unless it's a really good brand. Yeah, that tracks. Congratulations.
Stay out of my business.
Hope you're not a sore loser. Round one.
Thank you for the free. Yeah, I gotta start. Oh, that's fair. That's my fault. Sip. Alright, let's see. Damn, Jamie didn't fall for it. What I did there at the end, where I did the jump, I was trying to see if I could bait a reversal from Jamie. But Jamie didn't do it, so it's fine. Oops. Good throw. Sip. We got 2 now. It's always a risky proposition to too short. 3. Yep. You're dead now. They tried to perfect parry something that I was doing, and throws will do more damage to somebody who is attempting a parry or while they're in the middle of dry parry. It is very bad to be thrown out of a dry parry because you also wind up losing. You also wind up losing a bit of drive gauge. Also, when that happens, you don't want that. Good. Jamie is also very difficult to drive impact because his standing heavy punch at close distances will automatically do 3 hits, and he also has like that. This is a good call because I'm going to probably lose the drive advantage now, and then Jamie also gets a combo to carry me. And at oops. Damn it! I messed it up. I like Jamie's Galo Jack. Looks good on him. Alright. Hang on a second. 1 drink. The other thing about Jamie's drinks is that they also unlock more moves for him as he drinks more. So it's one of those things where, like, the more that he drinks, not only does he get more damage, he also his move list becomes much more versatile. Ooh. I didn't get the perfect punish there, but the important thing is I didn't eat shit like that. And then is he gonna stop it early to drink? Yes. Yeah, and I got cooked. That's fine. So, Jamie's Super Art 1, basically speaking, he can either choose to stop it early and take a drink, or he can choose. Yeah, too close. Or rather, I wasn't. Yep, swing their drink. Okay. And then I should be dead now. Unless he dropped it. Yeah, I'll hold that, that's fine. The main thing that made that Jamie harder to beat is mostly that they were a little bit less careless with like their Rekkas and stuff like that. So it was a little bit difficult to like actually stay on top of him. Because what happens to a lot of Jamie players is that if they get really greedy and want to drink a lot, and they haven't made you afraid yet, you can run up on them. Hi, Akuma. Let's see if we can ruin your promotion chances. Alright. That's fair. I wasn't close enough to actually make that work, and I didn't respond to that in time. Now I'm dead. If I had a little more health, I would have killed Akuma off that interaction. But I took too many hits beforehand. Yeah. This person really, really does not want the possibility of being pressured on their wake up at all. I think I can make that work if I'm careful. But I need to like actually respond correctly. What am I doing? Yeah, this person does not like being pressured on their wake up at all. Which means that unless they stop falling for the bait, I potentially can get into a position, if I'm more careful about my positioning, where I can basically just kind of like rat fuck them on other responses that they're having. Damn, I hate that I dropped that. Literally, it's because I did the input too slow. That's plus. Yeah, I lost this one, that's fine. Huh. Yeah. If they run it again, I think I can get them. I think I can get them in the run back. Oops. Hold on. Sorry, I'm gonna focus face for a second. Also, hi Sin. Yeah, okay. Oops. Hey, Sabira. Alright, hold on. Yeah, alright. So part of this is also that I'm just messing up my spacing on that wake up stuff. Go. So, alright. It's what I thought. This person really, 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 really hates being pressured on wake up and will basically do anything that they can do in order to avoid it. Which is pretty easy to take advantage of if I'm careful. Damn it! I didn't do the input for burning. Okay, there we go. Yeah, like, you see that shit? If I don't die from this, let me run this back. I dropped the super input, but whatever. Like, this person really, really, really does not want to have to make guesses about what pressure they have to deal with whenever I knock them down. So, I need to stop doing that now. But you notice that they'll also try to do like wake up grab. It's either wake up grab or Shoryu, right? As the or OD Shoryu is the wake up options. So if I'm careful about how I position myself, they just make it really easy for me to just like shave them up, right? So, yeah, literally the main thing that's killing this Akuma specifically is that, like, they are good. They are catching on with that, which is good for them. But the fact that they are mostly attempting to like try to, yeah, it's like wake up grab or OD Shoryu are like the only two things that they do after they get knocked down, or drive impact, which are not good. Yeah, so good. So let's see what they do here. I should have DI'd back, but I didn't see it coming. Nope. No. Why would you do that raw? Why would you do that raw? What are you doing? What are you doing? Take the demotion to D4. Go back to D4. You're fucking around now. Are you serious? You did Shungoku Satsu raw when I'm at half screen and I have time to react to it. What are you doing? No! No! That doesn't work. What the fuck? What are you doing? Why would you do... Okay, hear me out. Drive Rush, Raw, Shungoku, SGS. That might have actually maybe worked. Maybe. If only because I might not have been expecting it. But what the fuck are you doing Raw SGS at half screen? What? Okay, so let me explain this for people who don't understand. The Shungoku Satsu, the SGS, the Instant Hell Murder, the Raging Demon. It is a hidden super that Akuma usually has. It was his own, I think it might have been his only one in his original debut in Super Turbo, but I don't remember off the top of my head. I could be wrong about that. But in all of the games where Akuma has been a playable character, his Shungoku Satsu, Raging Demon, is the like other localized name for it, is usually a hidden super move that he can do, where, like you saw, he slides forward and attempts to grab you. If he grabs you, essentially speaking, canonically, he just literally beats the fuck out of you, hitting all your vital points, and then leaving you to crumple and die. That's the way that it works, right? Now, the Raging Demon does move very quickly, and there are situations where you can set it up where it is people either have to like react to the jump in a split second. Sorry, they have to either react to the slide in a split second and try to jump, or they eat shit. Or, depending on the game, there's situations where you can set it up so that the opponent cannot jump or otherwise get out of range of the Raging Demon before they get caught in it and they eat shit, right? There are setups for that. There are ways to ensure that. This person did none of them and did the Raging Demon at a distance far enough away that I could literally jump up, avoid getting grabbed by it, come down with jumping heavy kick, and kill the fuck out of it. You remember what I said before, right? About how this Akuma in particular, I have to admit, I'm like, okay, no, I have you now. You really don't like getting pressured. So the thing that I did to adapt to that was that's why after a little while, when I started approaching for the wake, like after the knockdown, and I was approaching like this, while I was stopping like here, so I could like throw this as a way to try to stuff the wake up throw, or every now and again, right, I stop, I block if I suspect that like an ODDP is coming, right, or if I happen to like tag a wake up drive impact with that, if I was really reacting fast, I could then like cancel it straight into a drive impact myself and DI back. But you know, takes a little work. Tiger. Yep. Yeah, I don't know this person's wake up habits yet, so I'm gonna have to just give them a little bit of some pressure and feel it out and see how they react in those situations. Tiger. Yep. I cannot, so I can't do that as kills. Got it. Hey, nah. My money is on that last guy getting tilted by adjustment in the rage. Probably. Okay, so I cannot. The usual approach that I use with burning kick is not going to work here, unless I get it cleaner and start doing it lower. So I need to adjust the way that I'm doing it. Woo! So yeah, the neutral jump there was a little risky because Sagat with OD Tiger Uppercut, I think his OD Tiger Uppercut does not angle him in a way that he winds up going over me. So that was risky. Ooh, good throw. Very good response, actually. Because they were far enough away that, like, trying to do something else might have whiffed. So... let's see. Tiger... Yeah. I don't want to approach with, like, burning kick the way that I was previously because, if that gets blocked at the correct height, I'm in trouble. Alright. SA3 is now off the board. SA2 is still up as a reversal, so it's SA1. But... okay. There we go. Also, Sabira, I did see your comment a second ago about, like, oh yeah, how I said a month ago that I didn't think I was going to be comfortable taking Viper into rank for a while yet, and then now, about a month later, here I am doing it. Yeah. In some ways, my Viper is still very, like, uncut in terms of, like, damage optimization and stuff like that. And, like, tonight even, like, I've been deliberately avoiding using some of, like, the slightly fancier things that I picked up with her previously, because I know that, like, I'm not quite feeling confident enough to nail them. Yep. Ah, damn. Yep, fair. My last money is on that last guy again. Yeah, probably. Like, either, like, yeah. Like, there... I would put even odds on that. That is a fair bet. Yep. Knee. But that's... oh, it was plus, but they didn't press something enough. That's that. Ooh-wee! So yeah, like, there's a thing I can do with, like, a Tiger Knee burning kick after some of my punishes that I have been doing tonight, because I'm just like, I don't know if I can nail it tonight. It also costs slightly more drive gauge, and, like, drive economy is really important with Viper. or you wind up in a lot of trouble. Yeah, good walk back. Okay, let's see.
Hold still. Cool your jets. See ya. Going in.
Yeah, that was good. I should have done that. Take this. Ooh, I respect it, but that was unfortunate that whiffed like that. Tiger. That was unfortunate that whiffed like that. Not sure why that whiffed. Because they did a Tiger uppercut. I don't know which one. Directly into Super Art 3. And normally, I feel like that should not whiff. I don't know why it did. That was a weird interaction. I feel like it was a thing with character height, and that's like the only thing that I could think of in terms of like where I was when that launch happened, but something about that feels like that interaction was fucked up. Shit, it's modern Zangief. Fuck. Okay, I'll explain this after the set is over, whether I win it or lose it, but I gotta lock in for a second. Alright. Yeah, that's what I thought. Oof. Ah.
Playtime's over. Execute.
Ah, fuck. Damn it. I got baited by the empty jump. They've been doing that this whole time. I really gotta think about something. I gotta think about some other way to respond to that. Man. I get why they did that. I don't know if I would have done that there. But it's Zangief, so that might be the only thing you need to do.
As expected.
I think I might have a feeling of it now, but I'm gonna be careful. It's very easy to fuck up. Yeah. Ugh. Ah, no. Nah, shit. Okay. The set's not over yet, but I have enough of my brain back to explain. Modern Zangief is really annoying to deal with in the sense that the modern Zangief player has a much easier time doing a lot of his command throws, especially like SPD is a lot easier on modern, which also means that like jumping at Zangief, if you're not careful, also results in getting like hit by anti-air mid-air SPD a lot of the time, and you have to be very careful about not getting caught by that. It's very easy. It's a lot easier for him to do that than it is for a classic player to do it. And so what a lot of modern Geef players will kind of trade on is the ability to kind of like that, right? It's a lot easier to do that as modern Geef. So they will trade on that a lot. Ah, fuck! I might be burned out. Okay, it's close, but not quite. I am now, though. That's not great. Ah, man, if I hadn't dropped that, I could have killed him. Because I could have done jab, crouching. I could have done jab, crouching medium punch, medium thunder knuckle, SA3, or even SA2 and SA3. Because it's the only thing I could have done. Alright. Yeah, so like, again, like jumping at a modern Geef, the main thing that you have to worry about should be dead now. Geef has an extra 1,000 health, but that's not enough at this health threshold to save him. So yeah, with this modern Zangief in particular, my original comment was referring to the SA3 word. Yeah, I figured. Yeah, I figured that's what you meant. Oh, interesting. Okay. That's good to know. Oops, I did the wrong thing. I'm responding to so many of the things that he is doing with the wrong buttons right now. Not that time, though. Not the best punish I could have done there, but good enough. Oh! Yep, and then Boris. Alright. Nope. Nah, I'm dead. So, the thing about Zangief's Super Art 3, right? And his critical art. If you are not already out of the range of that move or not grabbable before the super flash goes off, it's a done deal. You're caught. Period. Like, you have to already have been jumping out of it when it comes out, or otherwise already out of its range before the flash goes off, or you're caught. You just eat shit. Yep. Oh wow. Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, now I got caught by that. I'm dead. I should be, if they don't fuck it up. Yeah. And this is where it gets... Yeah, like... So, case in point, right? Like... Modern Zangief is a menace, right? Like... As a character, I could play whatever character happens to have, like, a really good matchup against Modern Zangief on paper, right? And it is the psychological pressure of fighting Zangief that will fuck me up every time, right? And that goes back to the earlier point that I was making about, like, yeah, right? Like, pro players will say these things about tier lists or what have you.
Let's rock.
Or, like, yeah, like, I find the matchup really easy or whatever. And a lot of the people are like, oh yeah, that means the matchup is easy. It's like, no. Not necessarily, right? Nope. Good throw.
Right here.
Good throw. Night, Sebby. Yeah, we did start kind of late. It makes sense that he's going off to bed. Nice. Ah, damn it. I should have hesitated. When I got something cancelable, I should have just done Thunder Knuckle and follow up and it would have killed. His jury was burned out.
Hold still. Cool your jets.
Alright, finally forced an OD out of them. Yep. Yep, I messed that up. Ooh! Unfortunate. Well, if I mess up my next responses, then it may not matter on my part. I may still die. Yeah, I threw that away so bad. They fucked up with the Super R3 and then I fucking choked. That's my own fault. The rollbackers are kind of high though. It's a little annoying, but it's fine. Nice. Yeah, the rollback frames are not favoring us right now. It's a little hard to tell what's going on. A little, but I can make it work. Yep. Get them. Yeah, just unfortunate timing to try that there. Yeah, good one. Alright, they didn't spend the extra meter to do. They didn't spend the extra Fuha stock for more damage. Yep, fair.
Hold still. Cool your jets.
Throwback hog is rough. Nah, I went too slow. I don't know if I agree with that. I don't know if I agree with that. I understand why, because I'm absolutely dead here. And they do have enough control of the match generally that I feel like they could probably be fine. But yeah, okay. Yeah, alright. No, I take it back. I take it back. They made the decent call there. They did the spend because they were pretty sure that they could control the matchup even without having the meter. And Street Fighter 6 is a game where damage is high enough that you can get away with that as long as you are confident in where you're placing your buttons. You can like push that, right?
Stay out of my business.
Don't expect me to be a pushover. Round one. Fight.
Yeah, good. Hello. Sweet. Okay. Hello, Ken. Hello, Ken. Hello, Ken. Hello, Ken. Hello, Ken. Hello, Ken. Right, I just learned how to do the throw bait against Sakuma, and I'm not putting that to use again. I'm thinking too linearly again. It's not good. Alright. There we go. Okay, good, they baited that. Damn. I was trying to walk back so I'd be out of throw range. A little. But... okay. Yeah. I was trying to walk back to be a little bit out of throw range and like just like stick my foot out and pop them with like that. Because that's essentially the way that I was like throw baiting the Akuma before. Okay, I see. And that's the thing, right? Thunder Knuckle against the jump won't work that often. Because they're not throwing the limb out to get tagged. That would you know. Alright. Yeah, that's my fault. If I couldn't necessarily have predicted that the sweep was coming, but if I guessed that it had, I would have been able to block it and kill. But you know. I wanted to dash cancel that, and I just didn't do the input correctly. I respect it. This Ken was playing it very clean, very clean, and I just didn't have answers. I'm not dead, but like coming back from this one is going to be very difficult. Like I'm not reading my spaces correctly, and a couple of things are still off. I can sort of tell a little bit where sometimes, right, I will occasionally have a feeling while I'm playing like Street Fighter or something where either like my attention is wandering or I'm not feeling like I can keep certain things pulled together mentally, and as a result, I get sloppy, and I can kind of feel it. And it's definitely happening now. Yeah, I've already like I can feel that the other complicated thing I want to do my muscle memory's fucked up. Oops. I wanted that to be a burning kick, but I didn't finish the input correctly. Yep, fair. Not dead yet, but it's gonna be close. Lucky. I got very lucky there. You want to be careful about like throwing. That's the main thing, right? Like, if you try to throw seismic hammer like too often, what happens is that people will start to jump. And then that's why you have to like fake, like you do a pump fake and make sure that they jump. But getting the feeling for when it's the right time to like try to seismo versus when it's the wrong time to try to seismo takes a little practice. You have to work a little bit. And even if they do like block seismic hammer, it's only like -5 on. It's -5 on block. So it's one of those things where like it's not. Oh, why didn't the super come out? I fucked up the input. It's my fault. See, like that situation, that is a good time to Raging Demon, right? Because what was happening was I was jumping back. So I couldn't use Burning Kick to like stall it out in the air and pop him anyway, and then I was gonna land back into it, right? Like situations like that, it makes sense to Raging Demon, right? Good throw. Unfortunately for them, they did the fireball too close, so I was able to drive impact through it. Unfortunate timing. And now y'all have sort of seen the major weakness of Burning Kick, which is that, like, even like mid-air Burning Kick, for all that it's very good, when you use it, you are committing a little bit to, like, stopping your momentum in certain ways that, ooh, good response, that can be responded to with an anti-air if you're awake. Ooh.
Cool your jets.
Round 2. Fight.
Ooh, yeah. Expensive on their part, but good answer. Yeah, not ideal. Wanna be away. That's plus as fuck. There we go, better. There we go. We're getting there. I've settled my nerves a little bit and calmed down. So it's not as bad. However, I think yeah. There we go. I'd lost the muscle memory for how to do that, and that's why I've been avoiding it this whole time, because, like, you know, if I try that, it's good extra damage, but if I tried that in a real match with the way I am right now, I'd drop that shit so bad, and that's not a good place to be at. Alright. Let's see how this happens. Because all the Cammys I've been fighting lately have all been really sharp. It's been very difficult as Viper to actually, like, match up with Cammy really well. The plus. Yeah, good corner carry and a bit of damage to my drive gauge. Ooh. Yeah, my answer in that situation wouldn't have been to jump. I should have stayed on the ground and tried to challenge the dive kick with HP Thunder Knuckle, and I didn't. Like that. Plus. There we go. We're making it work now. Plus. Good sweep. I might be in burnout. Maybe. I might be in burnout. I might be burnout. This is like a maybe. Close, but not quite. No, I didn't mean to do that. Fuck, that's bad. Yeah. And I wasn't sure where to gamble on trying to break that spin knuckle loop. Same principle as Terry's back shoot loop. Like, basically, if you want to avoid, like, if you're burned out and you have like no reversal options against like Cammy, and she's hitting you with like standing heavy punch or whatever, like just doing stuff into spin knuckle while you're burned out, just to keep the pressure on you. You more or less have to make a guess as to when she's gonna spin knuckle, and then like do a super and get through it that way. Because there's the gap. The gap is in between whatever normal she's doing in the spin knuckle. The spin knuckle's like, depending on the spin knuckle, it's still some 20 to 30 something frames. So if you're burned out and she's like doing standing heavy punch, like spin knuckle, standing heavy punch, whatever, like you basically have to use a super in between whatever normal she's doing in the spin knuckle in order to blow her up. Plus, yeah, plus. So yeah, whenever you hear me saying plus after the that spin knuckle, it's to remind myself specifically that it is plus. They've only been using heavy. They've only been using heavy spin knuckle, which is plus on block. Unfortunately, they're dead now. So yeah, the thing about heavy spin knuckle, right? You essentially have two options. If you do drive impact early enough, when you see it coming, you will catch it, and then like if you do it early enough, whoops. If you do, right, I should be finishing my thought here. If you have to do it earlier than that. If you do it late, this happens. If you do it early, then essentially speaking, you kind of just punch Cammy in the face. Ooh, that's fair. Alright. Unfortunate time for them to sweep. Unfortunate. Alright, let's see. Yeah, like see, if you do it early enough, like you just stuff it, right? Ooh, that was a good answer. Yep. Spiral arrow. Ooh, I respect that you tried. No, well, better. Yeah, I didn't have the pressure to do that. There we go. So yeah, the main thing with Cammy, my first master rank character in this game was Cammy. And generally speaking, in most games that Cammy is in, I play Cammy. The thing about Cammy, and this player was leveraging it pretty well, is that while Cammy has no projectiles, she has no standing overheads, she moves very quickly. And if you use like Hooligan and some other her movement tools correctly, you have ways of crushing people trying to like hit you low by using dive kick, right? You can use Hooligan baits to get them to jump something that you're not doing, and then clap them accordingly, right? There are a lot of different ways that you can like make Cammy's toolkit work. but like the main thing that you mostly have to work around is the fact that, like, essentially speaking, you got no projectiles, you have no standing overhead, which means that, like, when it comes to conditioning people and stuff like that, you're mostly conditioning them to either take a hit or take a throw, and it can be very difficult. She moves very quickly, so it's not difficult in the sense of, like, Cammy does still have trouble getting in sometimes, but it is not as impossible as it might seem initially. It's not like as impossible as it might seem initially for Cammy to get in. Not really, because she moves pretty quickly. It's just that you mostly have to, like, be very intentional about the ways in which you figure out how to approach people. Nah. And I understand what they were doing there. I respect it. Like, basically, if I'd thrown a button, if I'd pressed a regular button, I would have been pushed off by the fireball super. But, you know, I didn't do that. So, I want to be careful, again, about, like, how much I use Burning Kick as an approach in certain aspects, because, again, if you're doing... Nah, they're making it really too easy now. They gotta stop waking up like that. When they're burned out, you know, you don't, like, you feel like you don't have a choice, and that's the only way to, like, deal, and I get it, but, like... Wrong one. Yeah, good using, like, light, I think it was. Uh-huh. God damn it, it didn't come out. I have to clean that input up a little bit. Alright, Diamond 5. Woo! Nice. Okay, let me see here. We're not gonna go the full 3 hours. Maybe I do like one or two more, and then we call it, I think.
Now, find a new rival.
Oh hey, it's Mai. So Mai is interesting because she has really good corner carry, relatively low effort, and if you have a good understanding of how to use her fireball game, like, if you have a good understanding of Mai's fireball game, as well as a good understanding of her corner carry and her pokes, you get very far. Plus. Traded. Oh well. But yeah, like, Mai's, like, standing heavy kick, while it's not special cancelable, does reach really far. Her fireball game is a little committal, but once you understand how to use it, it becomes very difficult to deal with in the right circumstances. And then her corner carry being as good as it is basically means that Like, if you fuck up, she puts you in the corner. It's interesting though, because I haven't. Yeah, this spy hasn't thrown a fan at all. If I held it a little longer. If I'd held focus force a little bit longer, I would have basically bopped. I would have caught the drive impact when it came out, counter hit it, and then I would have had an opportunity to punch. But it's my fault. I messed it up. I let it go a little bit too early, and so I didn't get that opportunity. Sucks, but it happens sometimes. Shinobi Bachi. Yeah, there we go. Now we're getting the fan. Yeah, that's my fault. Shouldn't have done that. So yeah, the hard part now mostly is that with this Mai in particular, they've got a really good sense of how to poke with her. So I'm just eating all the corner carry. I mostly have to try to rely on them like fucking up a call as far as like when they're doing Ryu Embu in order to actually get ahead of them, and that's not sustainable. Ooh, got lucky. They didn't have any resources to like force me off, so that's mostly why I was able to get away with that. That was expensive on my part, but I did not eat a drive hit, so I'll take it. Ooh, yep. I'd rather take that than like getting drive crumpled. Woo! Alright, not bad. Shinobi Bachi. Yeah, no, I can't. I don't have time to do focus force on wake up. That's not the option. That's not the answer, rather. Yep. That's my fault. Why did I try to do that? I'll get it on mine. Didn't kill, but didn't really need to. Yep. Too high. Shinobi Bachi. Good thing that was not. Yeah, not ideal still. Nah, I'm dead. If I'd had a little more health, I could have tanked that, but it wasn't gonna work. Unfortunately for my part. If I'd had a little more health, I could have tanked it with the drive impact and killed her and taken the round back, but nah. I couldn't hang. It's unfortunate. Couldn't make it. Couldn't make it work. Alright, JP, this JP will probably be the last one.
Here's to a fair fight. Round one.
Alright. Unfortunate. I saw the jump that time. No. No. Pierce. Pierce. No. If I was a little closer, that would have worked, but... No. You may remember me saying that, like, you have to be very careful about when you do Thunder Knuckle with, or not Thunder Knuckle, Seismic Hammer with Viper. That's the kind of thing I mean, right? Like, if you do Seismo at the wrong spacing, then usually what winds up happening is, especially if people suspect that you're going to be using it, they'll jump and then they dodge it. But in situations like that, very useful.
Cool your jets.
And then you see situations like that, right? Where, like, because JP was expecting the Seismo, ooh. Because JP was expecting the Seismo, he did a parry and avoided, like, having to take any drive damage from it. And that's usually when you have to start doing like that. Oh, okay. JP has... That's unfortunate for him in this matchup. But then that means that really staying on top of, like, my drive consumption is going to be really important. I'll explain what I realized in a second. I gotta work this matchup a little bit. Not too high up. So, the main thing that JP has to worry about in this matchup is that as long as Viper has drive gauge, like, a high jump to, like, get past him is like an any minute now kind of thing. Like that. If she's at the right spacing, like, it's just, he eats shit on that front. He can still work around it, mind you. Like, it's not like, oh, the match is automatically unwinnable, but it's like he has to pay more attention. And it doesn't matter in my case because, like, I'm cock up and I'm not paying attention to, like, what I'm doing. Anyway, so that's the main thing. At least as far as I can tell, in this matchup, essentially speaking, if Viper has meter for a high jump, then not all of JP's zoning is invalidated because it doesn't work at certain distances, but, like, Yeah, like if JP doesn't keep you out of the range of like where Viper's high jump reaches to, he kind of eats shit. And obviously, like, you can't do it all the time, because if JP doesn't throw a projectile, then him just walking kind of beats it. Oops. No. Side. No. 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 Yeah, see what I mean? Like, I can't just, like, do it and expect results. I have to be very deliberate about it. One, because every time I use a high jump, I use up a block of drive gauge. So I have to still be very deliberate about where I do that and when. And if I'm not careful, like, I'll still get sniped by, like, that. Yeah, so it's not foolproof, right? There is still, like, a certain amount of, like, correct preparation I have to do to make it work. At least I didn't get hit by the cane swing, because that would have been worse. It would have been a juggle, and I would have got my shit pushed in. Yeah, hooked. That's alright. I accept this. Still at Diamond 5. But yeah, this is what I meant when I said that, like, my Viper is still a little bit unrefined. Like, I started floundering in that matchup once I realized it's like, okay, shit. He more or less understands roughly where to space me so that I can't just, like, high jump and get out of it. And that's when I got my shit pushed in. Right? Seismos. Yeah, like, Seismos would have maybe worked there if I felt more confident about the space at which I could do them. Because one of the things that I wound up not really staying on top of there was like, okay, right. So, you know, but I made it to Diamond 5. It's like, alright. We'll take those, you know? So, thank y'all for coming by. I deeply appreciate it. Again, and maybe we might not make it to 50% before end of November. I know that times are tough. I know that this is like a lot. But again, thank y'all for coming by. I appreciate it. Please look forward to... I might be a little late on Sunday, but I don't think I will be. I'll do my best to make sure that I'm not. I may have to beg a little time on Sunday just to be sure. But thank y'all for coming by. I deeply appreciate it. Sunday, around 5 p.m. Eastern Time, is going to be when we play more Mega Man Battle Network 1. I've been thinking about it, and probably after I finish Battle Network 1, there's a pretty good chance that, like, we'll have other games to play. There's a pretty good chance that I'm probably not going to do, like, Battle Network 2 or 3 or 4 on... I'm not going to say I'm not going to do any of the other Battle Network games on stream, but I'm thinking that maybe for, like, at least for 2 or for 3 or whatever, I may do those, you know, offline for myself, just to kind of, like, cruise and enjoy my time. and we'll see if I do another one on stream another time. Or I may double back after a little while and be like, yeah, I played Battle 2, I finished it, now I feel in the mood to like play it on stream again. Let me see if the person I wanted to raid is still on. That's not the site I wanted to go to. Let's see if he's still on, or if he dipped. Okay, perfect. He is still on. Alright, y'all. Thank you for coming by. We're gonna go raid Bobby. He is currently playing some Hollow Knight Silksong. It is his first playthrough. So, if you are a Silksong enjoyer, if you know what's up with Silksong, just do me a favor. Respect the first time stuff. Also, as a note, Bobby, he plays like platformers, like adventure platformers, Metroidvania type stuff. He knows his stuff when it comes to this kind of thing. So when we go over there and we raid him, I'm gonna ask that you keep it chill. Right? He'll figure it out. He has done a lot of this kind of gaming before. He knows his stuff. So if you like Silksong, then by all means you'll enjoy him streaming it. He has a lot of good insights about like Metroidvanias and the ways that they work and their economies and things like that. But like I said, it's his first time playing, so no spoilers. No, ooh, you're gonna like this part. That counts. Let him kind of go through it and have his time with it and be chill. Stay safe, wash your hands. If you go outside, please wear a mask, be excellent to each other. We're not the bigots, racist, terrorists, sexist, anti-queer folks, or fascists. Remember, Black Lives Matter, trans rights and reproductive rights are human rights. Palestine, Sudan, the Congo, New Caledonia, and Haiti must all be free. None of us are free till we're all free. Look after each other, take care of each other. You don't have to do a lot of big things in order to do that. Checking in on people, looking at what's local in your neighborhood, things like that. Those are the ways in which you like help people. That's how you help people. So that's pretty much all I have to say. Let's go hang out with Bobby. Here's the raid message before I forget. Ashish raids, the raid message. You can put in you can throw in whatever emails you want, just make sure that they're appropriate. And that's pretty much it. That's the tweet. Thank y'all for hanging out. I'll catch y'all when I catch y'all. Enjoy Skong. Deuces. That's the wrong scene. We're going over here.